Okay, welcome back to the channel. This is Steve Callaway. It's Steve Callaway 1 YouTube channel. And this is, of course, the one, the only, the global phenomenon, Angelina Jordan, when she was a little bit younger here. I'm not sure how old she is, but younger than she is now. How's that? We'll put it that way. Of course, yesterday she was younger than she is now, but that's besides the point. Maybe we can figure it out by the time we get done with the video here. So, Angelina Jordan, she actually does this song twice. This is the second one. I don't know why I decided to do them in reverse order, but there you go. That's me. Maybe I'll change them around when I do the editing and they'll be in the right order. You'll say, what's he talking about? Anyway, Angelina, I tell you what, this is genre, these types of songs, in any setting, with any music, it doesn't matter. She owns all of them, okay? All the ones I've heard. And that's a considerable number. Let's go ahead and listen.
Stars shining bright above you, night breezes seem to whisper, I love you. And birds singing in the sycamore tree, dream a little dream of me. Say nighty night and kiss me. Just hold me tight and tell me, do you miss me? Oh, while I'm alone and blue as can be, dream a little dream of me. Stars fading, but I linger on thee, still craving on your kiss. I'm longing to linger till down there, just saying this. Sweet dreams till sunbeams find you, sweet dream that leave all worries behind you. But in your dreams, whatever they'll be, dream a little dream of me. Stars fading, but I linger on thee, still craving on your kiss. I'm longing to linger till down there, just saying this. Sweet dreams till sunbeams find you, sweet dreams that leave all worries behind you. But in your dreams, whatever they'll be, dream a little dream of me. Bye.
Bye, Angelina. She's not going to leave without saying goodbye, right? All right. Always a beautiful picture. Listen, I'm going to play this one more time, and I'm going to do it in full screen. So hopefully, you know, those that are really huge fans will be watching this one too. And that would be pretty much all of you. Okay, let's watch.
Stars shining bright above you. Night breezes seem to whisper, I love you. And birds singing in the sycamore tree. Dream a little dream of me. Say nighty night and kiss me. Just hold me tight and tell me, do you miss me? Oh, while I'm alone and blue as can be, dream a little dream of me. Stars fading, but I linger on thee, still craving on your kiss. I'm longing to linger till down there, just saying this. Sweet dream till sunbeams find you. Sweet dream that leave all worries behind you. But in your dream, whatever they'll be, dream a little dream of me. Stars fading, but I linger on thee, still craving on your kiss. I'm longing to linger till down there, just saying this. Sweet dreams till sunbeams find you. Sweet dreams that leave all worries behind you. But in your dreams, whatever they'll be, dream a little dream of me. Bye.
Bye, Angelina. Beautifully done, Angelina. All right. So, what can you say, right? Angelina is a phenomenon, okay? Maybe that's a gifted talent from the universe. An an old soul in a young body. Okay, there's all these different ways of just trying to describe Angelina. What I think she is she's a, to me, she's a beacon of hope that in this world there actually is beauty, love, kindness, and good people. I thought we were running out, but it turns out that Angelina has restored my faith in humanity in general. Just this little girl has done that. Why? I really wasn't that much into the music scene for a long, long time. I mean, I listened to music. I had music on in the car radio. Sometimes at home I'd turn on some music. Not very often. Usually I have the TV on. And just for background, noise of some kind, right? And I wasn't all that interested, especially through the 80s and 90s and up into the 2000s. I really didn't, there wasn't much that was catching my ear, I got to be honest, until I saw Angelina about 7 years ago. So that would have been somewhere around 2015, 2016 maybe. I'm not sure exactly when I saw her for the first time, but it was about around there. And the first song I saw of hers was I Put a Spell on You. I was just doing a random YouTube search. Actually, honestly, at that period of time, I wasn't that familiar with YouTube, so I started watching it, and I was, of course, interested in all the variety of stuff you can find on there, right? So, and I'm a curious fella, so I went and looked at a bunch of stuff, and one day up pops this little picture of this 9-year-old girl in a white dress, and the title said something about singing I Put a Spell on You. And I was familiar with Screamin' Jay Hawkins' version. I always was, when I was a kid, I was intrigued with the weirdness of it, okay? Him dressed up sort of like a witch doctor, and actually in some later versions of that song that he did on TV, he got really famous because of that song. That was his intention, by the way. He wrote that song and that performance type video specifically to get attention because he felt he'd been lingering in obscurity in the music world, and he just wanted to find something, a hook, if you will. And he came up with that whole idea himself after a big night of drinking and having a terrible hangover. That's what he came up with. And it ended up working. Okay? So he got on, I don't know whether the first one was the Dick Cavett show or one of those kind of shows. I can't remember the name now, but he got on some fairly popular show and did the original I Put a Spell on You. I remember watching that, okay? And I saw it, and then he was in a show later on, and, after a few years, he went back on a different show, and he was in a coffin. And the coffin opens up, and he sits up. It's like, oh my goodness. Theatrics, right? So he combined, he was a trained opera singer, by the way. So he combined his beautiful, deep, dark voice, operatically trained, and sang the song, but he did it really, he added a lot of bizarreness to it just to make it more shocking, I guess, more like a shock video. So anyway, I saw Angelina do it as 9 years old. I saw the pictures. There was a black and white type video, which there's not a lot of those out there. There's some. You can see it actually over here. I don't know if you guys are looking or not, but there's a picture of the original one over here. It's got 11 million views now. I don't remember what it had when I was watching it, but that back in those days I wasn't keeping stats. Okay, so it was so amazing when I saw her sing it. My jaw dropped, of course, like everybody else in the world. I couldn't believe it. I didn't think it was real, like everybody else. It's not possible for a 9-year-old girl to put that much passion, heart, soul, grit, growl, anger at points into that song. The part that a lot of people never comment on that I thought was so amazing was the part near the end where she was out of the booth and she was out on the floor with that old-fashioned microphone, right? And she sings that. She does one of those belts on there. She's up on her tippy toes, arching her back with her arm on herself. It's like, whoa! This little girl, she's gonna take off, man. And just before that, there was a part where in the song where it was an angry part of the song. The singer is upset because of a breakup or whatever it is, and very upset, very, very upset. And Angelina was able to make us feel that, through the way she sang. And of course, the band didn't hurt anything. They were great, her backup band, and the whole thing. To me, that whole thing, even though it's the first one I ever saw of Angelina, I thought right after that, I said, that thing is a masterpiece, man. It's just the whole thing is just, it's perfect. You know, it's set in the black and white. The original ones I saw of Screaming Jay Hawkins were all the TV shows back in those days were black and white. There was no color TV. It was shades of gray and light. But yeah, it was a black and white TV, just like in the video. And so there, she pays homage. And then at the very beginning of that, I Put a Spell on You, she's got this, I think it's a candle, this cup or something. It's got a picture of Screaming Jay Hawkins on it. That's him. Okay, if anybody ever wonders what that is. Okay, well, that's the guy that originally wrote the song, performed the song. And she pays respects to him throughout this whole video. The whole thing actually is similar in so many ways to what Screaming Jay Hawkins did. But she, you know, when I watch Screaming Jay Hawkins do it, it's the shock value, right? The spectacle that gets your attention. His voice is really good, but that takes a back seat to all the performance that he's doing, the spectacle of it. With Angelina, her voice is center stage. And her performance is there. She does perform, actually. For a 9-year-old, I think she does a spectacular job. And especially with the adult lyrics and everything else that are in there that were modified, you know, a little bit, you know, because of Angelina. But yeah, it's a masterpiece, right? So here I am talking about I Put a Spell on You, and we're supposed to be looking at Dream a Little Dream of Me. Well, let me get back to that here in just 1 second, okay? I just got on a little rant, and that happens almost every single time I do a video. So for those that have been here before, you come to expect that, I guess. Some like it, some don't. And then for those that have never been here before, they say, what's this guy talking about? He's got a dream a little dream of me up on the screen, and he's talking about I Put a Spell on You. Yeah, I know. When I go back to the first time I saw Angelina, it's it changed my life for the better almost instantly. But it took me a few weeks to go and start the journey, which I'm still on 7 years later, okay? So anyway, but my life is better for it, way better. So let us go on and talk about Dream a Little Dream of Me. So this genre, it's not like I Put a Spell on You. This genre is a bluesy, jazzy, old school, even the music that she's got for the background music. It's from a simpler time in a lot of ways, but the issues are always the same. You know, relationship issues and this kind of thing like that. You know, sometimes love, falling in love, falling out of love. You know, everything that has to do with love and human beings. You know, men and women, the constant struggle. It's not really a struggle. I mean, you find love and everything's great, and then things fall apart and everything's not so great. You know, happens to a lot of people, right? And you know, along with that comes a lot of things. You know, it's you know, the fairy tale is you fall in love and you stay in love forever. And a lot of the older generation, there's still a lot of them out there that have been married for 40, 50, 60 years, 70, sometimes even 70 years. Depends how old they are, right? I just saw one where there was a couple, they were both over 100, 101, I think 102. And they got married when they were 16. They were together all that time. It's like, wow, you know? But see, for me, being an old-fashioned guy, I would have loved to have had that, but I didn't. And I messed it up. It wasn't anybody else, okay? And looking back on it, one of my regrets of my life doing that. But from that came some other things that are not regretful, okay? For example, I got married again. I had a daughter in my first marriage. Had a son in my second marriage. If I'd stayed with my first wife, my son wouldn't be here, and he certainly is a fine young man and deserves his place, being alive and well in our society, being a contributor. Right? He's a good person. As I, you know, I'm not going to talk anymore about that. So, yeah. So, you know, even though I probably shoulda, woulda, coulda, woulda, right? I didn't. And I moved on, and other things happened, and there's some good in it, and there's some bad in it, you know, all the way across the board, all the way down the line. Oh, why do I get on these topics anyway? So anyway, let's move on. So Angelina's singing this song. She wants us to, she sings two versions of it. She wants us to let her know which one's better, or which one we prefer better, I guess. Not better. which one we like better. And this was done a long time ago, 4 years ago at least. So you don't have to cast a vote. I think the polls are closed. But just enjoy how rich her singing of this is, from a genre that is way before her time, a style that's out of fashion, if you will, or way before her time. And she's able to grasp it and in some ways, I'm going to say improve, but improve is not the word. She puts her own style on it so that it makes it a little bit more relevant to today in a way. And it's also her performance isn't jumping up and down, smashing guitars, that kind of stuff. Her performance is to sit there and smile at us. That's all it takes. She doesn't have to do anything else, right? Look at this smile. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this one up. Boy, did that get to be long. Sorry about that, guys. I'm going to put a timestamp on the video. But by the time you get to this one, you probably would have fell asleep. But I'll let you know where the music starts. I'll do that. I'll try to do that on the videos. Anytime I talk more than a couple minutes, I should give you guys a fair warning that the song is way down the line somewhere, okay? All right, guys. Have a good day, good night, good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are. We will see you on the next video, I hope. Bye-bye.